Good morning. Once more, I welcome you to a Sunday Thought. This Sunday, I'm talking about embarrassment. Most of you who follow me on a Sunday Thought know that I start thinking about what I'm going to talk about or give awareness to, sort of towards the end of the week as to what comes up. Well, I have a personal story this time. I don't often get to feel embarrassed. I really don't. I take care of things. I do what I need to do. Maybe many years ago I did, and I had often the usual reactions, defense, so embarrassed I don't know what to do, etc. and but I don't really remember them anymore. It was a long time ago. But this Friday reminded me that the feeling of embarrassment is still alive and well. And it has a little story to it. But I want to say this is that I do teach and I do practice of naming my feelings so that the feeling is not repressed, so the feeling does not block and create other issues for myself, but rather that I am aware of what's happening to me. I spent Friday afternoon with a very small group of people doing some readings, which is according to our, you might say, lockdown practices, even though we're not totally locked down. We have not supposed to get more than so many people together. And everything was fine. I had all my gear. I had everything I needed. I had my recorder, my tools, because I do different things when I read for a small group. And off I sat, thinking that everything was fine. So I go to sit down. First person I'm going to read for. I start my recorder. It won't stop. I felt inside embarrassed. And I did mention that. And I think this is really an important point, that when you feel embarrassed, you state you feel embarrassed. So luckily, the lady of the house had some batteries and we put new batteries in and it worked. So embarrassment number one. We go on through. That was kind of more, I felt a little unsettled at one point when I realized that I had got a lady's name a little bit wrong by not reading her handwriting correctly, but I wasn't too really embarrassed. I just felt a little like, oh, Norma, you should have used your brain. But when you're psychic sometimes and you're reading in a psychic way one after the other, you're not always 100% conscious of things. You kind of go into that a little bit altered state. So then I'm working with second to last person, and my recorder beeps and says memory is full. Now, according to me, when I went there was still lots of memory left. No, it's not going to work. Luckily, people had phones, were able to record the rest of the reading. Embarrassment number two. I was embarrassed because you're supposed to have your act together, right? Then, as we were talking a little bit, the hostess, my first person that I had read for, said something about having her birthday today. I'd had her birthday right in front of me and had not connected at all. I felt really, really silly at that point. I didn't sound silly. I felt embarrassed again. So now, in one little short time, I am embarrassed 3 times, big times. There might have been another one in there. I think we were more so. I was packing things up. It gets a little bit weirder. I tell you, I was given a lesson on embarrassment with a particular family that I was visiting with. So I get everything in my bag. I leave. I come home the next morning. I set out. I'm going to send the readings I do have. I cannot find the list. I have a way of having cards and have people write down their name and birth dates and on the back put their email list. Can't find them. They're not anywhere I looked. I looked in my coat pockets. I looked in the bag. I remembered putting them in the bag, and I usually actually put them in with my tarot cards. Not there, only tarot cards, and so a few other things, my recorder and other things like that. So I have to take a deep breath. I have to email the hostess and say, can you please send me the emails because I've misplaced them. This was very embarrassing for me. So again, I'm embarrassed. And I actually said that, I'm very embarrassed. It actually gets one more time worse. This morning, I get another email to say that one of the people I was emailing to didn't have them, what I was sending. So I looked, and sure enough, I had mistyped the address incorrectly, email incorrectly. Now, again, another little embarrassment. Now, we have choices when we feel embarrassed. We often find, I used to go into defensiveness a little bit and explain myself away, or I would not want to acknowledge that I felt embarrassed. But I think 5 times, maybe 6 now, I don't know, I've lost count. With this one particular group, I went into one embarrassment after the other. It was as though I was incompetent. And that was, I think, the feeling. And I haven't talked, it's always funny when I get talking on the Sunday Thoughts, I lead into other topics. I guess began to feel that I must look incompetent, where I am usually very competent. That's one of the things I'm very probably known for, is that I'm pretty competent. I don't, quote, mess up too often. So I want you to think about this week. When do you last remember feeling embarrassed? Hopefully not for a long time, and you won't feel embarrassed for quite a while. Secondly, what do you do when you do get embarrassed? Because it's in the moment. It's not like things that build up, like guilt sometimes can come in slowly, or regret. Regret very often can have a long lasting. All of a sudden you have a memory and go, oh, I really regret that, or maybe I shouldn't have made that decision or did that. But embarrassment is there in the moment. In the moment you feel it. And if you can acknowledge that's the feeling that you have, you can move on quite easily. But when you have one after the other, and you begin to feel incompetent as well, it's like, yeah, so it's really important, I think, to really know how you respond to these things. Feelings are real, and you need to be able to be aware of them. You need to be able to name them. The more you can name them, the easier it is for them to let go. I obviously had to have some kind of understanding about embarrassment which was on Friday. And here it is on Sunday, and I'm still feeling a little bit of that because I typed somebody's address in incorrectly. And I trust that now that I put it in correctly, it will get there where it's got to go. If it doesn't, I'm sure that I will find out. So anyway, main thing, think about how you handle embarrassment, number 1. Number 2, think about how you're going to enjoy this week. There's been still a lot of anxiety in the air, which is coming from our neighbors. There's anxiety in our own air because of things beginning to lock down more and more. There's a lot of things going on. Do something for yourself. Do something to enjoy and have a great day today, a great day tomorrow, a great day for next week. Remember, I will be back on Wednesdays with Norma Talks, and also next Sunday. In the meantime, thank you for your subscription, where you subscribe. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for everything. I really say thank you a lot today, because I'm redeeming myself here. You have a great day. Bye now.